Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The applause was a physical thing, a rolling wave of sound that crashed against the gilded edges of the ballroom. From her place on the dais, Eleanor offered the crowd a practiced, polished smile, the kind that reached her eyes but never quite touched her soul. Her hand, resting on the velvet-draped table, ached from the endless, gentle handshakes. The sapphire of her ring, a family heirloom, felt cold and heavy. This was her world, a tapestry of expectation woven with threads of centuries-old tradition. Every word was measured, every gesture choreographed. She was the portrait of grace, the embodiment of duty, and for a few hours more she would be. Later, the heavy oak door of her private sitting room clicked shut, and the performance ended. The breath she hadn't realized she was holding escaped in a long, slow sigh. She slipped off her heels, the cool parquet a relief against her sore feet. The only light came from a single lamp pooling on the floor beside her favorite worn armchair. From a small, locked drawer, she retrieved a simple wooden frame. It held not an official portrait, but a candid photograph, slightly blurred, taken by a trusted aide on a rare holiday. In it, she was laughing, her head thrown back, her hand resting on her young son's shoulder as he pointed at something off camera. There was no crown, no sash, no weight of a nation in her eyes. There was only a mother and her boy. This was the truth the ballroom never saw. This was the life that existed in the margins of press releases and between the lines of a rigid schedule. It was the sound of her daughter's uncontrollable giggles during a pillow fight in these very rooms. It was the smudge of jam on her son's cheek from a stolen pastry, hastily wiped away before a public appearance. It was the quiet, fierce pressure of her husband's hand in hers beneath the table, a silent signal of solidarity in a sea of watching eyes. A soft knock came at the door. "Come in," she said, her voice softer now, stripped of its public cadence. Her husband, Thomas, entered, having also shed his formal tailcoat. He carried 2 steaming mugs. "I thought you might need this," he said, handing her one. It was simple, strong tea, not the delicate china served to guests. He looked at the photograph in her lap and smiled, a real crinkled-eyed smile. That was a good day. "The best," she whispered. He sat on the footstool beside her chair, a king in his own right, now just a tired husband. "You were magnificent tonight," she replied, her gaze returning to the photo. "Tonight, I was a symbol, but in here, I am just me." He reached out and covered her hand with his. "That is the part that matters most. The rest is just the role we play." Outside, the world saw the crown, the institution, the figurehead. They saw the wave from the balcony, the perfect execution of protocol. But they didn't see the quiet rebellion of a mug of tea instead of champagne. They didn't see the sacred, unscripted moments that truly held the monarchy together. Not the power of tradition, but the power of a family holding fast to its humanity behind the palace walls. Eleanor took a sip of tea, the warmth spreading through her. The public spectacle was over. Now the real work of being herself could begin.